Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Colin. In today's video I'm going to talk about the Kindle. I'm going to tell you why I think it is a very useful device and tell you why I prefer using this to physical books. As always, this video is not going to be edited. I'm going to speak natural English and hopefully you can use this for listening practice or maybe for shadowing or possibly as a model for your own speech. So let's get into the video. So the first thing I want to talk about with the Kindle is the fact that you have instant access to thousands, millions of books, okay? If you're lucky and you live in a city and you have a big bookstore close by, that's great. You can go and grab a book very easily. But if you live far away from a big bookstore or you just have limited access to books where you live, the Kindle is a really nice solution. So you have instant access to the whole Kindle library on Amazon. So Amazon has millions of books available as Kindle books. Not every book is available as a Kindle, but there are millions and millions of them. And to get a book onto your Kindle, you can actually buy books directly from here. But usually what I do is I will go to the Amazon store, the Amazon website, and I will buy the Kindle book there. And as soon as I click buy, the book is transferred wirelessly to my Kindle. So just in a few seconds I can have that book and I can be reading it and enjoying it. And that's really nice. Another feature I quite like is the fact that you have access to samples. So usually when you go to a bookstore, you pick up a book that you want to buy or a book that you're thinking of buying, and you'll open it up and read a few pages, maybe have a look through the book. You can do the same thing with the Kindle by ordering a sample. So what they will do is they will send you maybe 10-15 pages of the book that you're thinking of buying, and that allows you to kind of read before you buy, try before you buy. And that is very useful because sometimes you start reading a book and you realize, I don't really like this, or this isn't what I thought it was. So that samples feature is very useful. And usually I will order the sample before I order the full book. So that's the first thing, kind of instant access to books I think is really good. The other thing I like about the Kindle is that it is so light. You see me kind of waving it around here. It's really, really light. This one here is about 180 grams. So it's really, really light. Compare that to this. I mean, this is a big book, but this book is heavy. I don't know how heavy this is. My scales in the kitchen, they don't go this this heavy. So all I can tell you is that it's more than a kilogram. So you can see kind of the difference here. And I do like reading physical books too, but a book like this, it just gets a bit tiring to hold this up and also to kind of fight to hold the pages open. I don't like as well. So I much prefer having the Kindle. I can hold it in one hand, and usually what I do is I just click with my thumb, my right thumb, and that flicks to the next page. So just for convenience, I really like how I read on this as well. Also, as I said, when you're fighting to hold the pages open, you have to kind of put your head at a strange angle so that you can see the pages. With the Kindle, you just hold it in the same position the whole time. Just much more comfortable. So that's another key point for me for the Kindle. I also enjoy kind of taking notes as I read. And sometimes people say that they enjoy physical books because they can write on them. You know, in the margin, the bit down the side of the page, they can make some notes, or they can highlight, you know, they can underline or they can highlight sections of the book. And you can actually do that using a Kindle as well. So if I find a few lines that I want to highlight, just with one finger I can touch the screen and drag along the screen, and that will highlight everything that I've selected. And I think the benefit of the Kindle compared to a physical book is that after I've highlighted the text in the Kindle, later on I can export all of my highlights into a single file. Okay, so if I've been reading a book, say a 200, 300 page book, and I have lots and lots of highlights, okay, I can look through the book and I can find all my highlights, but I can also export all of my highlights together, and they are in one kind of nice, neat document that is easy for me to work with and to check. So the highlights feature here is very, very good. There is also a dictionary, a kind of built-in dictionary. So if I'm reading and there's a word I don't know, I can touch that word, highlight it, and it will offer me a definition. Okay, it will offer me a definition of that word. That's really useful for me as an English speaker. Some words I'm not familiar with, and I can quickly check what the word means. If you're a language learner, an English learner, you can actually have a translation. So you can have the English to whatever, English to Japanese, English to Spanish, whatever language your native language is, you can have the dictionary. So that is really nice when you're learning a language, because it can break up the reading experience if you have to check a dictionary all the time. If I'm reading something in Spanish and I have my Spanish dictionary, if I'm reading my book, I have to put my book down, pick up my Spanish dictionary, check the word, and then I put the dictionary back down, pick up my book. It breaks up the reading experience. But on the Kindle, touch, hold, and you have that kind of instant definition available. So it's really, really useful. And the last thing I want to talk about, I don't want to keep this video too long. The last thing I want to talk about is the fact that this is connected to other Kindle apps. So I use an iPhone, so there is the Kindle app on the iPhone or on the iPad. So if I'm reading here, and usually I read this at home. I don't usually take this with me. I use this at home. And if I'm reading something at night, for example, before I go to sleep, and then the next morning I'm going to work and I'm on the train, I can pull out my iPhone and I open the Kindle app on the iPhone, and automatically I can continue reading from the same location. So the Kindle syncs with other apps. So that it makes it very, very smooth. So if I've got an hour-long train journey and I'm reading on the train, and then I come home at night and I pick up my Kindle again, my Kindle knows that I've been reading during the day. And it will ask me, do you want to continue from the most read location, the most recently read location? So that is where I stopped reading on my iPhone. And that's really handy. It really helps you to read more because you don't have to always have this with you. You don't always have to have a book with you. It's really useful because you can read anywhere you are. As long as you have your smartphone, and we always have our smartphones with us these days, you always have a book with you. And I think that is a key selling point for me. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it useful, make sure you give this video a like. Remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. There will be more videos like this coming in the future, and I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.